As you can tell by the epic music and SpaceshipEarth, of course, in the background, we're in Epcot. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with the Festival of the Arts. We have board group 67 for Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's about probably all we're gonna ride today unless we find something with a low wait time. We had a little bit of an interesting time getting in. There's quite a crowd of people trying to get in right now, and the annual pass holder line was empty. We actually cut across the whole thing just to get over to the annual pass holder line because it was literally empty. Anyway, we're gonna have a good time. Thanks for coming along with us. Just to show you, that's what the crowd is for the line, and there's the annual pass holder entrance. Yeah, that was rough. Those of you who don't know, SpaceshipEarth is the first ride I ever rode in Disney World in 1987. My family came to Epcot first because my grandpa insisted that we needed to do a learning day before we went to the fun day. I rode this, and then I rode Horizons. Rest in peace, Horizons. I shall forever miss you. Michelle and I have come to the Creations Cafe, which is the Starbucks location here. And as you can see, the line actually isn't too bad this morning, as most people have kind of bypassed it for other things, probably rides. However, Michelle and I are not really planning on doing rides, but I want to point out her awesome artist ears that she's wearing today. She's got Artist Mickey on there, and I kind of like the fact that we're here for the Festival of the Arts, so I like the coordination, hun. Michelle is currently doing her homework with the festival guidebook. Make sure you pick one of these up at the front of the park or wherever you can see one. She's kind of looking through and deciding, this looks good, that looks good, this looks bad, and something I recommend you do before you really go through the festival. Michelle and I decided to try the Figment Liege Waffle. We've actually never had the Liege Waffles before. They've been around since Creation Shop opened. We've been in here a few times, just never tried them, but when it has Figment on it, you have to try it. Real quick about the Liege Waffle. Good. Tastes like a heavier version of a sour cream donut, which is an old-fashioned sour cream donut. It's one of my favorites. I liked it. It had a nice vanilla hint. It wasn't overpowering with the sprinkles. Didn't dye my mouth any colors. Good. It was a good way to start my day. Michelle and I are about to go into the Creation Shop because we're going to get our annual pass holder magnets. It's currently a Dumbo Magnet. There you go. There's your Dumbo annual pass holder magnet. Michelle's really big into Dumbo, so I'm going to let her have mine. I love the Jammitors. I've loved the Jammitors since I was a little kid. I just had a really nice conversation with Paul. He's the guy in the middle with the blue badge. I love the Jammitors, and I'm putting a nice shadow on my face, and I don't care. That's how much I love them. The Jammitors they've been here since I was a little kid. Love the show ever since. I love the Jammitors. You should watch them if you get a chance. I also just want to point out that they gave me a sticker saying that I'm a junior Jammitor. Oh yeah. Yay, Monorail. It's one of my favorite parts of this. When this wasn't running in Epcot did not feel complete. Michelle and I decided, because we're not here for the full day today, to not get Genie Plus. We are, however, going to do single rider on TestTrack because the wait is currently 55 minutes, and we don't feel that this ride's worth 55-minute wait, but we do like riding it. So we're going to do single rider, which means that we might not end up in the same car. Just so you understand that. If you get in a single rider, don't expect to ride with your party if you have someone with you. Michelle and I actually stopped at the Quick Design Station. They have a Quick Design Station. They have pre-made cars. You can pick from about 8 or 9 choices once you decide whether you want power, efficiency, or the other categories. And then you can use that car on the ride. You don't have to stop there, but we did. And we're going to now pretty much get on the ride shortly because we're like 5 back in the single rider line. Single rider walk-on. Sometimes it's worth doing it. I'm going to go out and wait for Michelle. Just just a lot of fun. I like that ride. Like I said, though, it's not worth it to me to do a 55-minute wait. I probably max out about 30. But in general, I really do like that ride. So this station right here is where you can order your Figment popcorn bucket. You can mobile order them this year. They have them. You check in there, and they have them in the Odyssey building, which is currently serving as the Figment station. It's got all this great neon in here. But you see all the popcorn buckets over there lined up. For those of the people who mobile order them, you can see Figment kind of playing around in the room. These rainbow neon lights moving around the room, and you have some art in here. Just a nice use of the Odyssey space. And we have a little hidden Figment up there in his artist outfit. There used to be a talking trash can in the old quick service restaurant called the Electric Umbrella. They have moved it here to the Odyssey building, and I love watching people react to the talking trash can when they hit it. That's been an Epcot staple since I was a little boy. If you want to have a little bit of fun, check this out.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that! I heard it was trouble, that's salami.
One thing I'm going to point out today is that it is a gloriously beautiful day. It is 20 degrees back home. It is 68 right now and beautifully sunny with clear skies, and it's supposed to stay that way all day. We need to come in February more often. Of entry shops, and Art Defying Gravity was putting on a display, which I just showed you. That was pretty cool. Excellent strength and control and balance from those artists. Some of the things that goes on at Festival of the Arts, the reason why I like it so much is because it kind of promotes what I love, which is music, dance, theater. It's so awesome to have all of these represented here in the parks. Michelle and I are about to head the correct way around the World Showcase. If Michelle agrees, right?
Yes.
We're about to head the correct way around World Showcase and go clockwise, past Mexico first. All you Canada shippers, you're wrong. Wrong. So Michelle and I both got the carne asada. You can see us both here. It comes with chipotle braised beef, sweet potato puree, and crispy fried onions. Michelle got the bonbon margarita, which is kind of like a smoked margarita, and she says it sounds interesting. She hasn't tried it yet. And I got the Mexican craft beer. That's literally what it's called, Mexican craft beer. As always, Mexican booth slaps. The beer, I'll start with the beer. The beer is just nice and light and refreshing. It's not too heavy. It's more of a lager style. I appreciate the mix of flavors in it. It's just the way I want it. The carne asada was excellent. The sweet potato puree and the crispy onions separately were all so good. But then I figured out this is a dish meant to be eaten together. So put the onions with the puree, with the beef. Oh, the flavor combination was awesome. And Michelle's bonbon margarita actually has a really good flavor to it. Yeah, I like the finish. It's got like a marshmallow finish on the end of it. So it gives it that like campfire thought, but you can actually taste the tequila as well, which kind of makes it smoky. Like it. Mexico booth, yet again, does the job. There on the Odyssey Pavilion, right by the bathrooms, they have this bubble machine going, but the really fun part about it is the fact that it has smoke inside the bubbles, and so when you pop them, a little puff of smoke comes out. It's really cute. So I am not all that bothered by these things, but I'll just let Michelle narrate what she just said.
Goodbye, ugly barges.
I don't feel that way, but Michelle does, and so do a lot of people. And this is going to be probably our last time seeing these. They're taking them out soon, and for some reason there's a giant swarm of birds on them. Maybe it's crows seeing the death of the barges.
I just want to poop on them. Down with that.
Yeah, there's a big swarm of birds on them. I don't know if you saw them flying around for a second, but they look like giant ravens or crows. They smell the destruction.
So here's why I hate the barges. You look out there, World Showcase. It's pretty. You look out there, you just see barges. And then when you're in what's the other side, America, halfway across, American Adventure, you look across, you see barges. You don't see Spaceship Earth. That's why I don't like them. And they're ugly.
I will add in, though, the funniest thing I ever heard these things get called is a water taco. I can see it. So we stopped at Pastoral Palate. This is the wild boar sausage. It has duck confit and ham hock with it. And I love the fact that they do this like artistic smear to try to make it more arty, and they kind of display it with color. And this is the Rosé Blonde by Three Daughters Brewing. These both look pretty decent. And Michelle got herself a giant pretzel in a bag. Look at that thing. Nice. Michelle also got herself a Riesling to go with her giant pretzel. That wild boar and duck confit with the ham hock in it, it was great. I like the wild boar sausage, but it's yet again where I'm learning that you need to combine everything in the plate in order to really fully understand it. The duck confit had that fattiness of the duck, and when you added that to the sausage, it finished out the sausage, because the sausage, because it's wild boar, is a little on the drier side. Wild boar is a little bit drier, it's less fatty. And so when you add the duck confit to it, which is a fattier thing, with the beans that they kind of used to round it out, flavor profile finished. I do have to say that I do like this rosé. It was surprisingly good. I was expecting it to be a little bit too sweet. Not a sweet beer guy. This actually was very light, very refreshing, and there's just a hint of sweetness on the backside of the taste. And I liked it. So, Pastoral Palate, win. Cheers. One of my little insider things I like to talk about is the most dangerous boat in all of Disney World. And that's because that is the pyrotechnician boat. That is what loads the fireworks into the barges. So, technically, that is the most dangerous boat in all of Disney World. I've said this before. This gentleman right here is Steven. He was our photographer just now. Took shots of us with Spaceship Earth in the background and also with Italy in the background. And the main thing I wanted to point out is that cast members make all the difference. All the difference. And that was just such a fun interaction. Made us feel pretty and beautiful. Just like her. I want to talk a little bit about Disney vibe. See that group of people right there? One of the things I think is different about Disney from many other places that people are willing to ask you to take their picture. They're kind and happy and nice. I just helped that group take their picture. They were like, hey, you look like you know what you're doing. I hope I do. But that's the difference at Disney. People are on vacation, but they're happy about it. They're not having a bad vacation. So they're much nicer to everybody around them. Yes, there's your occasional jerk, but most often people are just wanting to have a good time and are willing to share it with others and are willing to share that happy vibe as they go along. So don't be afraid to ask people to help you take a picture. I'm sure someone will say yes, and they'll do it with a smile on their face, just like me. All right, made a big stop. Many thanks to my friends Karen and Mark. They gave me a gift card and it covered this meal. I have the duck and dumplings, which is a smoked duck breast, ricotta dumplings, petite vegetables, and duck yu. And then there is the hummingbird cake. The hummingbird cake is banana cake with pineapple, coconut, pecans, and cream cheese frosting with a banana sorbet. And this is the beer flight. And the beer flight includes the Boulevard Brewing Company Tank 7 Farmhouse Ale, the Parish Brewing Company South Coast Session Amber Ale, and the Brewery Ommegang Three Philosophers Belgian Quad. Of these, the only ones I've actually had before is the Belgian Quad, because we can get the Three Philosophers up near us. But the other two I'm looking forward to trying, because I also already like the Three Philosophers. So I have to be careful where my head goes, because the sun is directly behind my head. So I'm gonna do the best I can, not move around too much. I'm gonna start with the hummingbird cake, because that was the last thing I ate. Hummingbird cake is great. I like the combination of the cream cheese, the coconut cream cheese icing, and the pineapple pieces with the cake. Not too sweet, and the pineapple is like slightly candied, like you find kind of like in fruitcake, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's good, and a really good combination with those flavors. I like the hummingbird cake has that nice spiciness to it because it's kind of like a spiced cake. Then I'm going to talk about the beer. The Farmhouse Ale is actually very good. It has like coriander or nutmeg finish on it that I can't quite identify, but I like it. And the Parish Brewing Amber Ale is exactly as advertised. It is a session ale, easily drinkable. You can have a lot of it and probably not notice, which is the bad thing. But I did like that one. Yeah, definitely like that one. It's a nice, easy to drinker. And then the Three Philosophers is just, for those of you who don't know, it's a heavy Belgian quad. If you like heavy Belgian beers, you're gonna like this one, but this one is one of those ones that is an acquired taste for people who drink beer. So be careful with the Three Philosophers. Also, that one will knock you on your butt really fast if you drink a lot of it, because it's very heavy. It's like 12, 13%, somewhere around there. It's really high. So then I need to talk about the duck. Wow, that duck was so good. It tasted like slightly poultried bacon. It's the best way to describe it. It's smoky like bacon, but it had like that duck fattiness and really good combination with some carrots, some glazed carrots, and some, I think it's rutabaga. There was another vegetable with it along with the ricotta dumplings. The ricotta dumplings were excellent. And I'm not a fan of ricotta cheese regularly because I don't like the texture, but when they're put into the dumplings and packed up like that, very tasty. The whole combination of that duck plate, wow. And the cast member that I bought from Carnold, he suggested the duck, and he said it was his favorite, and he was not wrong. So thanks, Carnold, for the suggestion. That was phenomenal. This is a great meal today. This is a great meal at the American Adventure Pavilion. Top notch. Michelle went over to the Regal Eagle bar that's in front of the Regal Eagle Smokehouse quick service restaurant, and she picked up the Blackberry Moonshine.
I subbed out the paper straw for my fancy reusable straw. It's pretty good. I've never had this before. It's not super sweet like most of the Disney drinks, so appreciate that.
I absolutely love the fact that Figment is the host of the International Festival of the Arts. And this flower bed is so cool. Very fragrant too. We just picked up on that as well. And we have made our way to the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion, where we have our boarding group, number 67, using my tips today for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. One of our favorite rides. We're hoping for a new song. We still need Iran and One Way or Another. I have said this multiple times. I love the theming of this room and the fact that you can see by everyone looking up that it's keeping everybody entertained. I really like these little tableaus they have in the queue of Guardians, kind of talking about what Xandar looks like and what's going on with Xandar and how it works, and this projection mapping on here. It looks so cool.
Your world and ours were born of the same moment, one which you refer to as the Big Bang. As such, we are all galactic neighbors in a vast universe which we and countless others share. And in just a few moments, we'll be activating it so you can experience for yourself what's happening.
I'm not sure. Our power's out. And the cosmic generator is gone.
I'm going to say this about this ride, is that I really do honestly believe that this is probably one of the most efficiently designed queues that Disney's ever done. They separate you left or right, they fill these corrals, and then they fill the things. It moves so much faster, I think, because of that whole kind of situation where they split you back there. Well designed on the queue here. It moves so much faster.
Okay, they're headed for the jump point. This plane is never gonna work.
Rocket!
Well,
Okay, I've locked onto your vehicle.
We'll be right behind you.
nothing to worry about.
Unless we cannot stop this unusually large man, then you're likely doomed.
Drax!
Yeah, new song! Woohoo! Oh yeah! I'm gonna get you. Hey, new song.
You're all heroes.
Do you really think they deserve to be called heroes? Do you see how they dress?
It's just a figure of speech, Drax.
I should have put bets on our song. Because, right? I should have put bets on the song. We go one way or another. I actually kind of said that as you're going in. It's like, I hope we get one way or another because I like that song. And that's what we got. Oh, that song works so well with that ride. I love that ride. So much fun. Absolute blast. That reverse launch is a lot of fun. We are in the process of kind of having the best day we can in Epcot. There's Spaceship Earth receding in the distance with the Nova Corps ship. It's a great shot there. We are going to probably head back into the festival so that Michelle's stomach can settle for a little bit. She doesn't really get motion sick on Guardians of the Galaxy, but it can dissettle her, so we're just gonna let her have a moment to cool off from the ride. But you love that ride, right? Yeah. What do you like about it?
All of it. It's a lot of fun. And I think it goes a lot faster than it feels like.
Yeah, I do. I think because it's so smooth, and that rotation really does help too. I think the rotation adds to my feeling of momentum as well. Just so much fun. Gotta ride Guardians. Follow my tips on how to get a virtual queue. It's still going. Yeah. It's the grand miraculous spaceship time. Spaceship Earth, one of my favorites, as I said earlier. Very first ride I ever rode in Disney World. Michelle and I are heading there right now. Looks like the line's pretty low.
But the Phoenicians, who trade with all of them, have a solution. They create a simple common alphabet, adaptable to most languages. Remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs? Thank the Phoenicians. They invented them. From anywhere on Earth, and in 1969, from somewhere else.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This, our spaceship Earth. And now I believe your future is just about ready. Let's take a look, shall we?
Welcome to the future. Or should I say, your future? The end. Or should I say the beginning of your future.
After yet another amazing ride on Spaceship Earth with the most hilarious postcard from the future we've ever had, we are coming into Connections to get some more caffeine, hopefully meet up with some of our friends, but this is probably the lowest I've ever seen this line in my life. I have never walked this line like this. One of the fun little things you can do here for free, sponsored by Coca-Cola, is Club Cool. Go in and try different sodas from around the world. As you can see, you have the dreaded Beverly, which is the only one that ported over from the old Club Cool, Madagascar, Dominican Republic, Korea, Philippines, China, Russia, and Moldova. For me, the China one tastes like barbecue sauce. And the Bonbon Ingles is actually probably my favorite next to the Madagascar, followed by the Russian cucumber. But I do have a little thing that I'm gonna say here. If you see someone standing at the soda machine about to push the button, don't literally come up and put your arm between you and me. Sorry, I just slipped as to where I was going with that. Don't put your arm between me and the button I'm about to push and shove me out of the way. Wow. There's a thing called waiting your turn. We learned that in kindergarten. You can hear it. Bonus Jammitors. So let's talk live music and live performers. The Jammitors make such a great moment for people when they are doing, make such a great moment for people when they're out there performing live. When you can't really interact with them when you're done, like when they're up hiding up on a stage in Canada, which they did for a long time, banging on kitchen equipment. We missed live performances all over the parks. And the Jammitors are a prime example of that. Just quintessential performers, professionals, just you need the live music and the live performers in the parks. And we just need to make sure that we always support them. The Green Army Men, the Jammitors, Voices of Liberty, those live performances are some of my favorite things about Disney. They're always just, I don't know, they touch my soul. So I'm so glad they're all back, and they're all back pretty much in their capacity that they were before. So much nicer. Michelle got the popped art, which is, what's inside of it? I don't know. I don't know either. Well, it's basically a fancy Pop-Tart, and she's been wanting one of these all day. So we'll see what she thinks of it.
I like it. I think it's better than regular Pop-Tarts.
What's the filling?
Blueberry. Frosting on top. All the pretty colors.
Sugar cookie. Awesome. Looks like you're enjoying it. Much like in Magic Kingdom, where it's not a trip to Magic Kingdom if you don't go on Pirates, for us, it's not a trip to Epcot without a stop at Grand Fiesta Tour. No, just kidding. La Cava del Tequila. As per usual, the line for La Cava is a little on the longer side, but they're actually so efficient here. We'll get through it really fast. I want to point out one of the things that they do for efficiency is that there are menus all over this line. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. They make sure that you can see the menu so you know what you're going to drink. As per usual, this place is hopping. La Cava del Tequila has a wide selection of sipping tequilas and mezcals. I recommend for the mezcal the Bozal Borrego, and I also really like the Casa Dragones Tequila, and you'll see the space is just beautiful. We also recommend doing the Agave experience, which is one of the things that they offer here. It's about $150 per person. It is worth every last penny that you paid for it. You get high-end tequilas, and you get a really good understanding of the tequila and mezcal that you're drinking and how it's made, and it's really, really good about that. So I appreciate the that being able to do that experience. If you want to check it out, we have it on our channel. But La Cava del Tequila, our favorite place to stop. I think I'm going to get the El Diablo. Michelle, I think she's getting the top shelf. I am correct. She is nodding vigorously, and we are going to enjoy our drinks from here. The top shelf and the Diablo. Top shelf uses Casa Dragones, and this has jalapeno juice in it. Oh yeah.
Ay, que sí, que no, ya me voy a despedir. Ay, que sí, que no, porque mi camino es largo. Ahora sí, mañana no. Solo les vengo a decir. Hola, chicasito, no. Que me voy para el santuario, que si me llego a morir, me recen mi novenario. Ay, ay.
See what I mean? Live music makes all the difference. Mariachi Cobre has been here for 40 years. They're the longest performing arts group here in Epcot. They've been here as long as Epcot has. They're amazing, and you should stop and watch them because they make all the difference. Michelle and I have about an hour 15 minutes left before we have to start heading our way back to the airport. So we're going to try to grab a couple more little treats before we go. Michelle wants to get the brie cheese and a bread bowl over in France, and I want to get something over at Pop Eats. So we're going to head back to France first and work our way front, and then probably work our way out. We did stop for a moment because our friends Carrie Ann and Mark are here with their friends real quick. They're having kind of enjoying their weekend. If you didn't see it, Mark yesterday got honored at the flag ceremony as the vet of the day in the Magic Kingdom. Please check out that video. He deserves it. Lieutenant Colonel Mark Weger retired this past weekend, and that's exactly why we're here, was to go visit them and to see that. In fact, that they got picked for the ceremony yesterday. Just a magical moment. So you should check that video out because that ceremony was incredible and moving, and way more moving than I thought it would be. So I'd love it if you went to go watch it. The ceremony is awesome. I am going to do a separate video of just the ceremony, so if people are interested in seeing what that's like, there's more to it than I ever thought. Seriously. All right, off we go to France, and my microphone shadow is lots of fun today. Here we go. Michelle and I stopped in France, and we got the Le Petit Brie, which is a bread bowl filled with brie cheese. I'm sure this is going to be good. I've actually never had this, even though it's been a regular at the festival for a while, so I'm looking forward to trying that. So, Le Petit Brie, what'd you think?
cheesy goodness.
Yeah, lots of cheese. I liked it, so don't misunderstand. It's very heavy though. If it was hot out, like if it was hot out right now, because it's not, it's like 75 degrees. It's a beautiful day. It's been completely clear skies all day. We had beautiful weather today. If it was hot, that would have been a little bit too much.
Probably.
I probably would have been like, oh my God, what did I just eat? But the cheese has a nice sharpness to it. And I'm not usually a brie fan, so I'm gonna make sure to say that. Michelle likes brie. I'm not usually a fan, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. It was really good. Had a nice sharpness to it that you don't normally find in brie, but went well with the French baguette that it was put into. Yeah, no, it's excellent, very good. I think this might be our last food booth stop because we're gonna have to leave soon, but I got the tomato soup with pimento cheese, bacon, and fried green tomato grilled cheese sandwich. I also got the almond frangipane cake layered with raspberry jam and Belgian chocolate. And this also comes with a nice creamy tomato soup. And at the top there, you see a Brooklyn Brewery Pulp Art Hazy IPA. Looking forward to this. This is kind of what, one of the cake at least is one of the things that I really wanted to try. And I hear nothing but good things about this pimento cheese grilled cheese sandwich. Just had everything. I will say that grilled cheese sandwich was so good. The pimento cheese with the bacon and fried green tomatoes that are in it, they were extremely tasty. Good combination. A little bit of like very savory grilled cheese sandwich. The cheese was perfect in there. It had that sharpness that you want. Loved it. Crispy buttered bread, toasted excellently. Loved it. Tomato soup had a nice creaminess to it. It's a very good tomato soup. Everything you want in tomato soup. That's what it was. Very comforting tomato soup. And the almond frangipane cake. It was like the best way I can describe it is actually a dense version of our wedding cake, because our wedding cake was that same kind of style, but it was a little bit fluffier, and we had that raspberry with the chocolate on the outside. Yeah, I would totally eat that frangipane cake again. And I've always liked Brooklyn Brewery because they're near us and we get their beer a lot. So I've had their IPAs before. Never had this one. I think this one's exclusive for the festival. But this Pulp Art Hazy IPA, top notch. Great way to finish it out. Fortunately, probably my last booth today, but everything was good, so I can't complain that my last booth had some great food in it. Cheers. One of the things I like about the Festival of the Arts is these chalk art drawings that they add to all kinds of buildings. My personal favorite, though, is Sorcerer Mickey controlling the reverse water fountain. I think that's a very, very subtle and pretty awesome use of that chalk art. They just kind of add them onto the walls in a couple of places. You can see like Peter Pan in UK and a couple others. But that one's my favorite. Well, we're ending where we started this morning from the Spaceship Earth. It's been a wonderful 3-day trip. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home either, but we have to. Again, congratulations to our friend, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Weger, retired U.S. Air Force, for your 21 years meritorious service. Thanks for bringing us down here for this. Helped us have a little bit great time here in Disney and also celebrate you, and you're awesome. Please hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and we always like to say that we don't like to say goodbye because we're gonna see you real soon. So we say, see you, bye.